Welcome to Whispers and Confessions. There might be a twist waiting, so please make sure to watch until the end. Don't forget to subscribe and like. Let's begin right away.
I don't think I can make it without you anymore. Her voice shook, but there was a fierce certainty in it that pushed past the quiver. I stood there, tongue-tied, caught in her eyes. Her hand clamped mine with a grip that felt both desperate and alive. That warm, shaky hold echoed how this all began. But by now, we were too far gone, too twisted up to pull apart. I still see that first time I walked into Ethan's place. It was just another day, nothing big, just a cram session for exams. Ethan, my best friend, usually hung at my house, so going to his felt like a change-up. The front door swung open, and there she was. In that instant, my whole world turned upside down. She was in comfy house clothes, soft, easy stuff that somehow made her look incredible. Her hair was tied back, casual but sleek, and her smile threw me off, soft yet striking. I stopped dead, my mind blanking out. "Hey, come on in," she said, her tone light and inviting, paired with a grin that felt like a warm breeze. I just stared, managing a weak, "Hey." My voice came out rough like it wasn't mine. Ethan didn't notice my fumble and dragged me inside. "Mom, we're hitting the books in my room," he called. "All right, let me know if you guys want snacks," she replied, her voice smooth and laid back. I couldn't help it. I stole one more glance as we headed down the hall. We crashed in his room, but my focus was shot. I flipped open my books, scratched out some answers, but her face stuck with me, sharp and impossible to shake. She was in the kitchen, cooking something, and I kept sneaking looks. Every move, the way her hands flowed, the tilt of her head hit me hard. "Yo, you good? You're zoning out," Ethan said, snapping me back. "Yeah, just beat," I muttered, faking a grin. But inside, she was all I could think about. After that, I couldn't kill the urge to go back. At first, I told myself it was nothing, just a fleeting spark I could ignore. She was Ethan's mom, off limits, period. I chewed myself out trying to bury it. But feelings don't listen. The need to see her grew, digging in deep. Those quick moments when Ethan wasn't around, when our looks crossed, became what I lived for. Then, out of nowhere, it all flipped. I was over at Ethan's again, grinding through notes, when he had to step out for a quick errand. Back in a flash. "Just chill here," he said, casual as ever, and bolted. I stayed behind, alone in their living room, the quiet sinking in. Then she came over. "Want some tea?" she asked, settling across from me and sliding a steaming mug my way. I took it, acting cool, but my hands gave me away with a slight shake. "Studying's tough, huh?" she said, her tone soft and real. I let out a shaky laugh. "It's all right. I've got it handled." "Still, don't run yourself ragged, stress isn't worth it," she said, giving me that gentle smile that always threw me. My pulse shot through me. We sat there, sipping tea, the air thick with tension. She talked like it was no big deal, easy, light, but I was hooked on every little thing. The faint curve of her lips, the way she tucked her hair back, how her fingers rested on the mug. Every second buzzed with something unsaid. That night, she slipped into my dreams for the first time. She leaned in close, her breath a whisper against my ear, her presence hitting me hard. I woke up soaked in sweat, chest tight, and I knew I couldn't fake it anymore. She wasn't just Ethan's mom. She was everything I needed, and it didn't take long to see she was right there with me. That's how it started. She'd ask me over, dropping Ethan's name like it was routine, but we both knew why. I'd show up more, using study sessions as an excuse. Little by little, we stopped pretending, let it build into something real. Our glances stretched longer. Our hands brushed on purpose, and the space between us vanished. Every touch meant something, every move pulling us closer. And then, one night, we went for it. The living room glowed dim, the lamp flickering as she moved closer, the air shifting with her presence. Her breath brushed my neck, and it was like a spark. My whole body caught fire. "You're my lifeline now," she whispered, her voice raw, cracking with need. I took her hand tight, my pulse racing. Same here. She fell into me, her body pressed against mine. In that moment, I pulled her in and pushed her onto the couch. Her lips met mine, soft, desperate, and it was like a floodgate busting open, all that want pouring out. Her hands slid under my shirt, tracing fire over my skin, lighting me up. I gripped her waist steady, catching her uneven breaths. Her legs grazed my thighs, then locked around me, and I gave in right then. Couldn't hold back anymore. Her gasps turned sharp, hitting my ears like a rush, each one driving me wilder. I promised myself I'd never lose her, her warmth lingering in me, something I couldn't shake off. I knew this was risky, how twisted it could seem, but I couldn't imagine a day without her now. "You're my lifeline," she'd said that night, and it flipped something in me, a craving that only grew. At first, I'd written it off as a dumb spark. She was Ethan's mom. Hot, sure, but that's where it should have ended, I told myself. But the more time rolled by, the deeper it sank, a pull I couldn't dodge. Ethan's place wasn't just a hangout anymore. It was where she was, and I went for her, not him. I thought back to that first day. She'd been in chill home gear, a light pastel tee that fit just right, loose pants that moved with her. It wasn't loud, but man, it made her stand out. When she tilted her head, brushing her hair aside with that easy grin, my breath caught sharp. She felt familiar, like Ethan's mom greeting me, but magnetic, like a woman I couldn't shake. She was different. It wasn't just her looks reeling me in. I got that the more I stuck around. We started grabbing moments alone, even when Ethan wasn't there, swapping quiet words that pulled us tighter. When she saw me stressing over exams, she'd slide a tea my way, no big deal. "This'll calm you down," she'd say, her voice steadying me. I'd sip it, eyes stuck on her hands, long, slim fingers that felt strong and soft, giving off this quiet pull. What would it be like if she touched me? The thought crept in, and I tried to push it out. It's just a crush, I told myself. I was there to study with Ethan, not to fall for his mom. But feelings don't play fair, they twist and dig in. I kept catching her look, and she started holding mine, her face softening every time. One day, mid-talk, I felt it shift again. Ethan was out, leaving us alone. "I'm okay solo most days, but sometimes it hits. How empty it feels," she said, her voice barely above a whisper. I didn't know what to say. She was lonely. That landed heavy, a dull ache kicking in. She always seemed so steady, so warm, but now I saw the quiet hurt she carried. I wanted to fix it, to be the one who filled that gap. That's when it hit. This wasn't just some shallow thing. I needed her, not just because she was gorgeous, but because I wanted to get her, to stick by her. After that, we got real close. When Ethan wasn't around, we'd sit and talk, voices low, the air heavy with something real. She'd share bits of her past, and I'd soak up every word, scared to miss a thing. "I love that you're here so much. Ethan's been grinding harder with you around," she said, her look pulling me in. I tried to keep my cool, but her stare broke me every time. That night, she crashed my dreams again. Leaning in, whispering, her scent wrapping me up, her touch setting me off. Even asleep, I was all in. Morning came, and she was still all I could think about. A day without her felt off, empty. I needed to see her, hear her, be close. And it didn't take long to see she was just as tangled up in me. Her look started chasing me more. Her fingers lingered when they brushed mine. We were caught, a pull too strong to fight. Then it happened, the moment that locked it in. She leaned close and breathed. "I'd fall apart without you." I met her stare, and there wasn't a hint of doubt, just pure, open need. I wasn't stepping back either. I pulled her into me, and she sank in, her body fitting mine like it was meant to. Everything changed. I held her tight, feeling her chest rise and fall, her arms sliding around my neck as I drew her closer, our breaths mixing. Our lips collided, and her tongue slipped in, hot, slick, electric, sending a jolt through me. I tore at her clothes, hands starving for her skin, mapping every curve. Her breasts shook under my grip, and my breath turned rough, uneven. She pressed her lips to my ear, voice low and ragged. More. Give me everything. That broke me. I pushed her onto the floor, spreading her legs wide and diving into her, deep and hard. Her cries echoed around us, wild and free, as I drove into her with all I had. Her nails dug into my back, leaving red marks, and the sting only fired me up more, blurring pain into something wild. When she broke under me, shaking hard, I surrendered, merging with her as the world faded out. From that first look to now, my feelings never stopped growing. It started small, a spark I tried to snuff out, telling myself she was Ethan's mom, untouchable, but it turned into something I couldn't control. When I saw she was in it too, we were right on the edge. Her stare, her touch, her voice. Every piece of her called to me, and then it hit, no stopping it. It was a sticky, slow afternoon. I just finished studying with Ethan and was about to head out. Let's call it. Catch you tomorrow, he said, sprawling on the couch. I grabbed my bag and made for the door. Hold up, she called, stopping me cold. I turned, thrown off. She stepped closer, quiet but sure. If you're free tonight, how about dinner with me? My chest tightened fast. Dinner? Yeah, something chill. Just thought it'd be nice if you hung out, she said, her voice steady but her look hinting at more. I blinked, caught off guard. Ethan's mom asking me to dinner? Her face was calm, but I caught a flicker of nerves. I thought it over quick and nodded. Yeah, sounds good. Her stare wavered for a second. Then she smiled, soft and real. Cool. Swing back later, then. I left, but my head was spinning. Was this just a friendly thing? Or was there more? I chewed on it, swapping shirts in front of my mirror at home. I didn't know, but one thing was clear. I wanted to be with her, no question. Later, I rolled back up to her place. Ethan was gone. It was just us. The air carried a faint cooking smell as I stepped in. You made it, she said from the kitchen, her voice warm and easy. She'd switched into something a little sharper. Not flashy, just a dress that showed off her vibe, hugging her right. My pulse kicked up seeing her like that. Hope you're starving. It's almost ready, she said, tossing me that grin that always got me. But I couldn't miss it. Her face softened when our eyes met, her steps slowing like she was feeling me out. She was tuned into me, same as I was to her. The table was set clean and tight, nothing like the sloppy meals I'd had with Ethan. This felt intentional, different. We sat across from each other. Thanks for this, I said. Eat up, she replied. We dug in, starting with small talk, but as time ticked by, I could feel her shifting, something in her tone getting heavier. I really like having you around so much, she said out of nowhere. I stopped, fork halfway up. Yeah, I like being here too. Good to know, she said with a quiet laugh, then slid a glass of wine my way. Want a drink? Sure, thanks. I took a sip, the red wine hitting smooth and deep. I don't usually mess with alcohol, but tonight it felt different, richer, warmer. She grabbed her glass too. It's been a while since the divorce, she said, dropping it casual but heavy. I looked up, startled. Oh yeah, Ethan mentioned it. I thought I was fine at first, but lately, the loneliness creeps up. She went on, her voice dipping. I didn't know what to say. Her words sat there, real and raw. Ethan's around, sure, but it's not the same. She flashed a small smile. Sometimes I just want someone here, you know? Sank into me, heavy and true. The wine loosened me up. She was lonely. She took a sip, her look steady on me. I couldn't keep it in anymore. What about right now? I asked, voice low. She looked at me, surprised. Being here with me tonight. Does it feel less empty? She blinked, caught off guard, then softened into a small smile. Her hand slid across the table, resting over mine. Yeah, it does. Her fingers were warm, shaking just a bit. We stared at each other, and words fell away. Just everything we felt sitting there between us. My fingers locked with hers, firm and sure. She didn't pull back. She needed me too. I'd fall apart without you, she whispered, her voice breaking. I leaned in, She met me halfway, and we crossed that line again. Right then, I pushed her back against the table. A wine glass tipped, spilling red across the wood, but we didn't care. I hiked her dress up, baring her thighs, and spread her legs wide. Tearing her underwear aside, I teased her warmth with my fingers. She gasped, hands digging into my shoulders, pulling me closer. "Hurry!" Her voice cracked, thick with want. I gave in right then, thrust into her, her fire burning around me, tight and fierce. Her cries broke loud, raw and desperate, as I pounded deeper. Her fingers yanked at my hair, and I bit her neck, marking her mine. When she shattered under me, trembling hard, I lost it, spilling into her as her shaking pulled me under. That moment changed it all. I swore I'd never lose her, no matter what. She was mine. Even after dinner, she held me back. "Stay a bit longer?" she asked, her stare cautious but spilling over with feeling. I nodded. She led me to the couch, her hand brushing mine. "One SEC," she said, ducking into the kitchen and coming back with another bottle of wine. She poured us both a glass and sat close, her warmth bleeding into me. We tapped glasses. "It's been ages since I've had a night like this," she said, sipping her wine and staring out the window. "Just chilling with someone, talking, sharing a drink." I watched her, quiet. She looked softer, more at ease, but I could still feel the ache underneath. "I thought I'd gotten used to being solo, but I guess not," she said, her voice low. "Lately, I've been wanting someone around more than ever." I stayed silent, just listening, then caught her eye. Her stare shook with something fragile, like she was begging me to step in. I set my glass down and glanced at her hand. I reached out, brushing her knuckles light. She didn't flinch. I held her wrist, firm and sure, and she sucked in a quick breath. Her gaze flicked to my lips. I didn't wait. I leaned in. She moved with me, closing the gap. Our lips met, soft at first, then hungry, a slow burn that flared fast. I slid my arms around her waist, pulling her tight. She pressed closer, deepening it, her breath hot and quick against mine. Her hand cupped my cheek, sparking me up. I tugged her in, her body flush against me. I peeled her clothes off, hands greedy for her skin, tracing every line. Her legs hooked around my waist, yanking me down as I laid her on the couch. I slid into her, her pulse swallowing me whole, sending a jolt through me. She pressed into my back, pulling me closer, her breaths breaking into sounds as she called my name. That sound, wild, needy, lit me up. I moved with her, slow then fierce, diving into her core. Her gasps filled the room, sharp and free, and when she broke beneath me, shaking hard, I surrendered, caught in her shaking. There was no going back. I knew it and I didn't want to. We'd crossed that line and nothing was the same. We weren't just Ethan's mom and his friend anymore. We were two people drowning in each other. No way out. I knew I couldn't breathe without her. She felt it too. That night we stayed tangled, sharing the same air, proving it to ourselves. She nestled in my arms, catching her breath, and murmured, "Is this okay?" I looked at her. "You sorry?" She pressed her face into my chest, voice steady. "No." I drew her closer, wrapping her tight. We couldn't split, not now, not ever. That night sealed it. We'd step somewhere we couldn't undo. Holding her, my head spun with a million thoughts. Was this all right? I'd shoved past the fact that she was Ethan's mom, chasing what I felt. And she'd chased me too. In that moment, rules didn't matter, just us. She breathed soft in my arms, her draw settling over me. I brushed my fingers across her face, tracing her like I'd never let go. She smiled, small but real, looking up at me. Did we rush this too hard? Her voice was gentle, a little shaky with doubt. I took her hand tight. No regrets here. She locked eyes with me, then nodded slow. Me neither. We knew it then, this was real, not some fling. She wasn't just Ethan's mom anymore. She was the woman I'd fallen for, deep. After that, we got tighter, closer than ever. Heading to Ethan's turned into something I craved. Seeing her under the cover of studying with him was my fix. She didn't dodge me either. She acted natural, like it was just us in on it. But when Ethan was around, we had to play it straight. We kept a wall between our stolen moments and the times he was there. It wasn't easy. His voice would ramble on, and I'd still catch her look. She felt it too. Sometimes our stares held too long, and I'd snap away, praying he didn't notice. Still, what we had kept growing, no stopping it. One day, she pulled me aside. "Can we talk quick?" Ethan was in his room, and we sat alone in the kitchen. She slid a coffee my way and said, "Lo, this cool with you?" I let her words sink in. "What do you mean?" She sighed, her look searching mine. "Us sneaking like this. Can we keep it going?" My fingers locked with hers, steady as hell. "I'm in." Her gaze was a mess of hope and worry and want. I needed her to know I meant it. "I need you bad. And you need me too, right?" She cracked a small, real smile. "Yeah, I do. I need you." I held her wrist tighter. "Then that's all I care about." She studied me, then let out a soft laugh. "You're fearless, huh?" I shook my head, staring her down. "Nah, just real." She gripped me back, warm and sure. "That's everything to me." We knew it then, this was real, not some fling. After that, she started reaching out more, Ethan there or not. We got bold, reckless, even. When Ethan was out, we'd stretch our time longer. At first, it was simple, stolen looks, hands brushing, quiet talks. But that stopped cutting it. We wanted more, falling deeper every day. She quit hiding behind being Ethan's mom. She saw me as a guy, her guy, and I saw her as a woman, real and mine. One day, she threw her arms around me and whispered, "You're all I've got left." I yanked her close, holding tight. Same here. We were in it, needing each other so bad it hurt, and it was too big to bury anymore. One afternoon, Ethan gone, I sat across from her in the living room. She walked over, took my hand, and that was it. Her fingers laced with mine, and I couldn't hold back any longer. I pulled her in, lifting her onto my lap. Her breath hit my face, hot and fast, and I licked her neck, tearing her clothes off. My hands found her breasts, and she let out a low, shaky cry, driving me wild. I pushed her onto the living room floor, throwing her legs over my shoulders. I slid into her, her warmth pulling me in deep. She grabbed my waist, yanking me harder, her gasps matching my rhythm. When she screamed my name, shaking at her peak, I lost it, kissing her fierce to catch every sound as I spilled into her. After that, keeping it quiet wasn't an option. We needed each other, had to be together, and nothing was breaking that. But we had to keep it low. With Ethan around, we stuck to the script. Alone, that script burned up. One afternoon, just us. Same old day, I was at Ethan's, studying with him. Sunlight streamed in, warming the room as we flipped through books, checking answers. But my head was elsewhere, stuck on her. She was in the kitchen, brewing coffee, and I couldn't focus for shit. Every move, the way she poured, flipped her hair, shot us quick looks, messed me up. She knew I was watching, felt it too. Then Ethan cut in. "Yo, I gotta run out. Mom needs something." I jumped but kept it cool. "Yeah, no worries." He grabbed his shoes and took off. The door slammed, and the house went dead quiet. I sucked in a breath and turned toward the kitchen. She was already staring. We locked eyes. No words, just heat building fast. She stepped closer, one slow step, then another. I stayed put, but my nerves kicked in as she got near. She stopped right in front of me and took my hand, her voice low. "Guess we're pros at dodging Ethan now, huh?" It shook, loaded with everything she felt. I held her wrist tight. "Feels like it's just us right now." She let out a small, shaky laugh, then leaned in. I stopped fighting it, pulled her into me and kissed her, deep and messy, her tongue hitting mine, hot and needy. I shoved her against the kitchen table, ripping her clothes off. My hands slid between her thighs, teasing her fire, and she gasped, yanking my pants down fast. Her fingers wrapped around me, stroking hard, and I groaned, diving into her. Her pulse swallowed me whole as I thrust, rough and relentless. Her cries filled the kitchen, wild and loud, her legs hooking my waist, pulling me deeper. I bit her neck, tasting her, and when she broke, shaking hard under me, I surrendered, caught in her trembling. The house wasn't quiet anymore. Our jagged breaths and racing pulses owned it. But reality hit fast. The front door creaked open. We split apart, panic kicking in. I bolted to the couch, chest pounding, as she darted back to the kitchen. Ethan strolled in, clueless. "Mom, I'm back." "Good work, Han," she called, cool as ever. I let out a breath, glad he didn't catch it, but it sank in. This was getting dicey. After that, we knew we had to dial it back. But it just made us bolder. She got fearless, texting me when Ethan was out. "Can you come now?" I'd throw out excuses and race to her place. She'd open the door quick and pull me into a hug. No words, just her arms wrapping me tight. Her warmth, her smell, her breath hit me like a wave. I hugged her back, fierce and hungry. This wasn't just sneaking around, we were hooked, straight up addicted. She'd said I was all she had, and I was right there with her. Life without her didn't mean shit. The more time we stole, the clearer it got. This was no fling. One day, alone in her bedroom, she grabbed my hand and pulled me to the bed. I eased her down, peeling her clothes off slow, savoring every inch. Her skin warmed under my hands, and she let out a soft cry. She yanked me close, whispering against my ear, "I need to feel you." I spread her legs and slid in deep and steady. Her fire burned around me, and I moved with her, slow then hard, soaking in her breaths. Her hands pressed into my back, pulling me closer, her gasps growing as I took her further. When she shook under me, I kissed her hard, merging with her as we hit that high together. What we had couldn't stay hidden, and people started noticing. One day, Ethan hit me with, "You're over a lot lately, huh?" I froze but brushed it off. "Yeah, just grinding for exams." He nodded, but his eyes narrowed, skeptical. After that, I knew he was sniffing around. She felt it too. "We gotta be careful," she said, voice hushed. I nodded. "Yeah," but I took her hand tight. "I'm not stopping this." She looked at me, a small smile breaking through, and squeezed back. "Me neither." That night, wrapped up in me, she whispered, "You're my lifeline." I drew her closer. Same. We knew it couldn't stay hidden forever, but cutting it off wasn't an option. We couldn't quit, wouldn't. The more time we got, the harder it was to face a day without her. She was the same, calling me over whenever Ethan was out, and I'd drop everything to run to her. But the deeper we went, the trickier it got to hide. We tried to play it smart, but our feelings were a damn spotlight, too bright to dim. And bit by bit, others started picking up on it. One day, alone at her place, I was with her. She sat next to me on the couch, flipping through a book, but I couldn't stop staring. She'd glance up, catching me, then reached out, brushing my hand. "I love these quiet vibes with you," she said, soft and real. I held her wrist, grinning. "Me too." Then the front door flew open. We froze. Ethan back early. "Mom, I'm home." She dropped my hand and jumped up. I stayed put, forcing chill. He eyed me, confused. "Still here." I grinned easy as I could. "Yeah. Didn't know when you'd roll in, so I hung out." She backed me up, smooth as hell. "Just getting him some tea." He nodded, but his stare lingered, sharp. I kept it cool, but my pulse was racing. After that, Ethan started digging. "You're here a lot, huh?" "We're chilling more than studying." "You and Mom seem tight." I laughed it off, but his questions kept coming, and I was sweating it. He hadn't figured it out, but he was starting to push, dropping hints he was onto something. She knew it too. "We need to watch it," she murmured. I looked at her. "But I can't quit this." She sighed deep and nodded. "Neither can I." We couldn't vibe as free anymore. Ethan's radar was up. He watched me, clocked every second we were alone. Still, we kept at it, even as the stakes climbed. One day, she hit me up. "Can you come today?" Her voice was raw, needy. I didn't blink. "Yeah, I'm there." I slipped over to her place, careful. Ethan was out. She threw her arms around me the second I walked in. I'd fall apart without you. Swear it? She whispered, holding tight. I hugged her back, hard and possessive. Same here. That night we went all in. I shoved her onto the bed, stripping her slow, worshipping her with my hands. Every touch pulled a soft cry from her. I spread her legs and sank in, deep and deliberate. Her warmth pulled me in, and I moved hard, relentless. She yanked my neck close, whispering, "More." I gave it to her, driving in fierce. Her cries filled the room, wild and loud, and when she shook under me, I kissed her, losing it as we peaked together. She lay next to me after, whispering, "I want days like this forever." I nodded, locked on her. "We'll get M." But we both knew that was a long shot. One we ached for but couldn't bank on. We were hooked, straight-up junkies for each other. The deeper it got, the more trouble loomed. Ethan's suspicions were sharpening, and one slip could blow it all up. But we couldn't let go, not after this. We turned into something we couldn't kill. That night, leaving her place, my head was a wreck. We were too far gone, too twisted up to walk away. Ethan's doubts were piling up. He watched me closer, picking up the weird vibe between us. We tried to keep it low-key, but hiding this kind of raw was damn near impossible. And then, it all crashed when we weren't ready. Another day at Ethan's, studying like normal. Even with him there, I couldn't shake her. She caught my eye too, quick but heavy. Maybe Ethan was already onto the heat between us. We wrapped up and he stood. "Gonna hit the store, want anything?" I shook my head. "Nah, I'm set." He gave a sharp look, hesitated, then headed out. The door clicked shut, and the silence landed heavy. I headed for the kitchen, slow and sure. She was there, waiting. I looked at her, no words. She stared back. We closed the gap, drawn together like magnets. I yanked her into me and kissed her, deep and starving. Her lips devoured mine, and I pinned her to the wall. Her hands tore at my pants, gripping me tight, stroking fast. I hiked her clothes up, slamming into her with everything I had. Her fire burned around me, and I pounded hard, relentless. Her gasps cut through, sharp and wild. As I went deeper, her legs locking around me. Then, a voice sliced in. "What the hell are you doing?" I froze, ice hitting my veins. I turned slow, Ethan, standing there, bag in hand, eyes wide with shock and rage. Sweat slicked my hands. Her face went ghost white. "What is this?" His voice was low, rough, shaking. I couldn't talk. My throat locked up. It all fell apart. "Say something," he yelled, voice cracking with hurt and fury. I tried, but nothing came. No words could fix this, I knew it. She stepped up, quiet but solid. "I'm sorry." That hit the air and he lost it. "Sorry? You're pulling sorry right now, Mom." She dropped her head, saying nothing. He stormed over, shoving me hard, hands fisted in my shirt. "You piece of shit. How dare you touch my mom?" I took it, all his anger, but I couldn't lie. I loved her. "I didn't want to screw you over," I choked out, voice rough. He clenched his jaw, yelling, "Then what's this? You think this adds up?" I looked at him. My friend, the guy I never wanted to lose. She stepped between us, voice firm. "Stop." She faced him, steady. "I chose this too. I wanted it." He stumbled back, floored. "For real?" She nodded, sharp and sure. His fists balled up, shaking. Silence stretched, thick and heavy. Then he sucked in a breath and turned to me, voice cold as steel. "Get out." I knew what it meant, no coming back. I headed for the door, steps heavy. She followed. I turned to her one last time. Tears glistened in her eyes, held back by grit. "Is this over?" she asked, voice breaking. I met her gaze. "Not for me." Her trembling hand grabbed mine. "Not for me either." Ethan's voice cut through. "Enough. Don't come near here again." I let her hand slip away, opened the door and stepped out. Cold night air hit me hard. I walked off, glancing back. She stood there, framed in the doorway, a shadow against the light. The door shut, slow and final. I'd lost everything. So had she. Now what? I wandered, numb, streets blurring past. What was left? I couldn't lose her, not after all this. Could we make it work? I promised myself I'd stick by her, even if it tore shit apart. The night closed in, sharp and cold, but my mind was a hurricane. It was all gone. Ethan catching us meant no more hiding, no more pretending. But did it have to end? I loved her. Fierce, deep, real. She needed me too. Could we just let that go? I stopped, breath fogging in the chill, and pulled out my phone. My hands shook as I scrolled to her number, thumb hovering over the call button, just staring. Was she out there, lost in the same mess? I glanced back at her house. Lights glowed inside. She had to be feeling this too. I tapped out a text. I need to see you. I sent it and waited, chest tight. Would she bite? Or was this it? Seconds dragged like hours. Then my phone lit up. Her. Can we meet? I didn't blink. Where? A beat. Then, cafe near my place soon. I turned and raced there, steps quick. The cafe was dead quiet, dawn's chill creeping through the windows. I sipped coffee, hands jittery, the heat barely touching my nerves. She walked in, eyes finding mine fast. She came over slow, deliberate. We stared, the weight of it all sitting heavy. She spoke first. You good? I let out a dry laugh. How could I be? She sighed, worn out. Yeah, me neither. We sat, quiet for a stretch, just looking, wrestling with what was next. So what now? She asked, voice small. I slid my hand across the table, taking hers gentle but firm. She didn't pull back. What do you want? She met my eyes, steady. I need you. I gripped her tighter. I need you too. She let out a shaky breath. Can we even keep going? I locked on her, sure as hell. I'd trade it all for you, even if it tears me apart to lose him. She shut her eyes, taking that in. But Ethan, he's never forgiving you. I nodded, slow and heavy. I get it, but you're bigger than that to me. She stared, eyes swirling with fear, doubt, and a fire that wouldn't quit. We knew keeping this meant torching everything. My tie with Ethan, done. Our thing, never easy or free. But we couldn't live without each other. Her hand clamped mine. I want to be with you. I looked at her, her gaze shaky but fierce as she whispered, no matter what, I can't lose you. I nodded, soft but dead set. Then let's get out of here together. She blinked, thrown. What? I squeezed her hand hard. We can't go back, and staying's gonna kill us. Let's start fresh. Somewhere new. She sucked in a deep breath. You think we can pull that off? I laid it out, rock solid. With you and me? Hell yeah. She searched my eyes, weighing it, deciding. Then a faint smile cracked through. For real? I nodded, steady, locked on her. You're all I need. She gripped me harder, voice firm. All right, I'm in. We decided to ditch it all. Leave this town, start over clean. We packed light, bracing ourselves to leave. It wasn't easy. Ethan wouldn't budge, and it stung like hell, but staying wasn't an option. Felt like losing it all, but we had each other, and that held us up. The day we took off, after everything blew up, I held her hand tight as we walked away. She looked at me, a quiet smile breaking through. Just us now, huh? I grinned back, heart full. That's plenty. She leaned into me, voice shaky. You're my lifeline. I held her close, arms tight, wondering what we'd just lost. Same here. So we took off. Dropped everything to chase a new start, somewhere else. No one knows where this road's headed. But one thing's locked in, we picked each other and we're not letting go. Our story's taking us somewhere new, uncharted but ours.